Pride means freedom. Freedom means letting go of all the baggage, the chains, and the trauma, and living in your authentic truth.
Pride to me means being unapologetically you, really living your most authentic self and being who you feel like you were born to be.
Pride represents a whole encompassing celebration of self, of identity, of love. My first going to a Pride rally or Pride parade was 2013. It was with some of my friends from back in college. We were feeling our femme fantasy.
The first time I celebrated Pride, I wasn't even out yet, which is crazy.
My first Pride was the summer of 2008. And I was down on the piers, dipping and doing it, thinking I was grown, and just taking in the history of our people.
I don't regret the partying that happened because sometimes you need to celebrate and you need to dance and you need to rock it a little bit and you need to be yes, 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 we achieved something.
Pride has become very commercialized. And it pains me to say it because I didn't get to experience much of Pride before it started to really get heavily bombarded with these commercial ideas.
Stonewall was literally a riot against the police. We can't have police at a queer Pride march, parade, whatever. It's antithetical, it makes no sense. We can't have these corporations taking over Pride. It's about this riot, about gaining our freedom and being ourselves.
It's really important that we don't just kind of like let everyone adopt the rainbow without really saying, well, what is your commitment to actual community?
Every revolution has to make up its mind whether it's going to veer further left, it's going to become more radical, or it's going to become more mainstreamed. And I think the turning back of rights for LGBT people, for women, for immigrants, for brown people, we are in a place now where we absolutely need to look at what it means to be radical and what it means to stand up.
We need to center Pride back around the Black trans femmes. It's time. We are the leaders of this movement. We are the brick throwers, we are the shade throwers, we are the light givers, and we are the joy singers.
I definitely would want to center trans people, queer people of color, disabled queer people, Jewish and Muslim queer people, all the more disenfranchised queer people that never get seen have the most to lose by going to Pride. They are the ones that need to be lifted up and seen the most.
In any group, all you have to do is assess the placement of the most vulnerable in that community. Progress for LGBTQIA people looks to me like progress for straight people, like progress for rich people, like progress for poor people.
Progress for me, for LGBTQ plus people, would mean prison abolition, universal basic income, universal healthcare, accessible healthcare and therapy, as well as access to other healing modalities.
You always have to be interrupting the space that you're in. You always have to be thinking about voices that are in some way less privileged than yours, less amplified, and your job is to amplify those other voices and amplify those other identities and make sure that the rooms you're in are stretching in order to accommodate their arrival and their comfort.
People can queer Pride, we need to start agitating. You know, we need to continue agitating, excuse me.
If you're gonna go to Pride and you have the means, give to queer-owned businesses, give to people of color-owned businesses, donate to Indigenous women funds, donate to the queer Black women funds. Like, don't just show up at Pride, show up for the people that need you to show up.
Queer your pride by studying the history of our people, not appropriating it, but learning from it and funding it and contributing to its existence. Queer your pride by educating yourself on trans issues, on Black queer issues.
Be you, be authentically you, but in the best way, so that you are always pushing love.
Queer your pride.
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 Queer your pride.